Are we doing enough in that area in terms of also trying to counter the message that could give Boko Haram sympathizers?
That's where we have to do a lot of work on humanitarian ground. We really have to. The government has to intensify its humanitarian effort. Complete re-education of the citizens in those general areas that are going through that crisis right now. Because they have seen that this has got, it hasn't got anything to do with religion. They've seen that these political movements who want to take over space using religion.
But did you see the people getting to that stage where they get their confidence back and not be afraid to give out information of these people, having seen us take their territories back from Sambisa, Gwoza, Gamburu, all of those other strong...
Yeah, that's where the government has to ensure, one, it enhances the military and other security agencies to be able to assure the security of the citizens. Secondly, confidence building has to come into has to play a lot of part in it, and confidence building has got to do with how you ensure that the internally displaced people are well rehabilitated, the infrastructure, well rehabilitated, and then you also have to deal with the psyche of the people. The government must put in place a lot of efforts that will restore the confidence of the citizens, that will make the citizens believe that yes, the government is actually doing a lot, to help them get their lives back.
Well, do you see the chance wherein, because I know the last previous administration did say so much about the sponsors of these people, but now this government has said they're going to limit their capacity to access funds and weapons. So it looks as though they're putting this strategy to squeeze them. That's why we moved command center to Borno. How do you see all of this getting us the kind of results that we need?
You see, that's where the collaborative efforts comes to play. There is no one country that can fight a crisis all by itself. Some crises are internally engendered, some crises are externally engendered. And when you find yourself in that circumstance, you also need to ensure that your friends out there also help you with a lot of information that will help you internally to cut access to weapons, cut access to funding, even cut access to physical contact by all of those who are perpetrating this evil.
In terms of information management about this aspect where we've seen some of the actions and what he's doing, but at the moment, shouldn't somebody be talking to Nigerians now when these bombs go off here and there about what they're doing and how they should keep faith with us?
Well, I think that's where the various agencies that are responsible needs to also up their ante, because give some credit to NEMA, for example. Every time situations of this, of what we saw yesterday happens, NEMA moves in immediately. They bring in various items to bring some reprieve to the affected, and you saw what the government has also done, which you all relayed, taking a lot of internally displaced persons, including children in particular and women, to safe areas like the one we had in Edo, which you aired, okay? But it's only in the short run. The long run objective should be to take these people back to their natural habitat. That's where they belong. That's where they feel most comfortable. That's where they pitch their livelihood. And that's where they want to be. You remember the Liberian crisis, when we had a lot of Liberians in Nigeria. Yes, quite a number of them felt at home here. But at the end of the crisis, hey, gradually they all moved back because that's where they belong.
So this issue of, being dislocated from your society, from your ancestral home, where you have always known to be home, it doesn't have an alternative. So if the government or agencies are working to see that they can take care of them at the moment, they should also be looking towards bringing them back to their original home. That's what you're saying.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because that's the ultimate. And that's why, in the first place, you categorize them as internally displaced people. It's not out of their own volition that they left the place. It's the crisis that forced them out of the environment. And once you can guarantee that the environment, their habitat is secured, help them to go back there.
I'd like to take you into an aspect of this fight, because I like to talk about morale boosting for the military. If, the same way we'll talk about morale or for those who are in the locality. The locals also need it. How does it feel like for someone who's in the fight, and you get to hear reports of some atrocities and alleged atrocities carried by you when you are, on duty, on a national assignment? I'm saying this in the light of the amnesty report against the Nigerian army.
Talking about the Amnesty International's report, Amnesty International is an organization that focuses on human rights abuses. And you find them in every crisis-prone areas all over the world. It's not just Nigeria. They are all over the world. And the objective is to sniff and look out for those abuses. And if they've made allegations against the Nigerian army, I'm so glad the president, made it very clear. You have told us this has happened. We've taken the reports. We're assuring you that we will investigate the allegations. And don't forget, they are allegations. They are allegations. And it is when the allegations are investigated, if anyone is found to be liable, then appropriate measure will be taken against the individuals or group that are found liable. But one thing I can assure you is that the Nigerian army has what we call rule of engagement. Has rule of engagement. And every soldier carries that little card with him into the operation theater. Yes. And it serves as the, you can say, the war zone moral guide that prevent them from doing things that are untoward.
So they have a reminder with them everywhere
Exactly.
they go.
And they have time to look through it before they move on.
That is the responsibility of their commanders, to remind them that you have this responsibility. You mustn't go beyond this. You can't do this. And that's why anytime they arrest the so-called Boko Haram insurgents, we hear the spokesperson will say, this number were arrested and they've been handed over to the appropriate authorities.
But what can you do? What can you say about the strategies adopted so far? One of them was the moving of the command and control center to Maiduguri. Our military says they've complied with that. They even have, it will seem like a backup somewhere in, is it Damawa now? But, what can you say? How would you say that has affected the war against Boko Haram?
Moving the operational command center to Maiduguri only shows the seriousness with which Mr. President took the operations itself. It's not something that is, it's not an action you want to say is extraordinary, because in military operations, when you go into the theater of war, if your command headquarters is somewhere else, your operational headquarters will always be moved forward to be placed in between or immediately behind the fighting troops, so that you can monitor what is going on in the theater of operations. So it's nothing extraordinary. Well, you can say it's a rehash of what he did while he was the GOC of 3 Airborne Division in those days, when we had incursion from the northeastern part of Nigeria, and he moved his operational headquarters to Maiduguri immediately. And that actually had an impact.
So we're looking for the same impact?
Oh yes, definitely, it sure would.
Okay, well, I have to thank you for coming on, retired Major General Abiodun Role, speaking to us about the plans by the government to tackle insurgency. Well, it's time for us to